back. Yes, guys. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Okay, so it's a new year. I have a new setup. We are in 2018. Guys, but fortunately, it's not a new Nisi, okay? So I've changed my setup and now I am in my actual studio where I actually do a lot of my coloring. So, hey, I just thought, hey, since this is a new year, this is a new time, we've been through a lot together. This is time to bring you guys like in the fold. You're just in the mix of things in Nisi's world, guys. Okay. So, this is the big 2018. And this year is just going to be full of just awesomeness in the coloring world, in Dollar Diva's world. And first and foremost, I just would like to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you guys. It has just been your response and your support and your love for me and my channel has just been like overwhelming. I mean, I'm speechless. I just don't know how to express my gratitude. I mean, it's just thank you. Thank you so much. It was because of you and all of your lovely, lovely, lovely comments that I'm back here. And let's just keep growing together and just keep coloring. And I mean, just some of your comments were just like, I was just like, oh my goodness, just woo. But guys, I just want to say thank you again to all my new subscribers, all of the subscribers that have been here since day one, just everyone. I appreciate your support. It's just been amazing. So guys, let's get right on into this. Now, what we're going to be doing, as you have maybe seen by the title, is I'm going to be going over with you guys the top 20 tips and things that I've learned about coloring in 2017. And as a beginner colorist, I have learned a lot, okay? I've watched a lot of YouTube videos. I've had a lot of advice given, and I try to return that advice. I try to give it right on back to you guys. When I receive it, I want for you guys to get it, so you can improve in your coloring. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. All of the tips and tricks that I've learned and what I've learned about myself, discovery, secrets, whatever you want to call it. So while I'm doing that, I will be coloring with you guys in my favorite book at the moment. This is My Colorful Town by Chiaki Aida, a coloring tour. And this is one of the first pages that I finished. And if you can see by my previous video, you guys were here when I was working on this. So I've actually finished it. And a lot of you guys were wondering, how I did certain things in this picture, like the glass, the windows, and the wood, things like that. So I will be doing a future video, the glass canisters, showing you how I do certain things and certain aspects of things in my coloring pages. So look forward to some awesome videos, some awesome tips, and just some fun in this new year of 2018. So this is the page that we will be working on. It's the page, the tailor page, the clothing store page. I'm going to put my sheet protector behind my page because we don't want any bleed through or anything like that. And I will be using my Prismacolor Premier pencils. And I think I want to start with this jacket. And I think I would like it to be blue, like a dark blue. So maybe this, yeah, that's the blue I want. Indanthrone. blue. Okay, so that's the blue I wanted. So I'm going to have to probably pair that with a black to make the different highlights and so forth and shadows. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started in this top 20 things I learned about adult coloring and my adult coloring. So let's see, I think I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so hopefully that will be good enough. This is a new setup, guys, so work with me, work with me. We're gonna perfect it. So, number one, get my coloring Prismacolors close to me. The first thing I learned or discovered was the type of colorist I am, you know, what I'm comfortable in doing. And I have come to find out that I am a heavy-handed colorist. That's just how it is. That's how it goes. I am a heavy-handed colorist. Case and point, okay? And it's okay. It's okay to be a heavy-handed colorist because when I first came into the coloring community, everyone was saying it was almost like a sin to be heavy-handed. You know, you should not be heavy-handed. That's bad. Light layers, light layers. You know, that was how I was made to feel. And I was made to feel that I was doing something wrong because I was heavy-handed. So I try my best to be light-handed, and it just wasn't working out. It just, it was not working out for me, guys. I was getting frustrated actually in my coloring. Very, very frustrated because it was just light, just wasn't light hand, wasn't doing it for me. Light layers, light hand, whatever you want to call it. That wasn't working for me. So I had to realize that not all colorists are light handed. Not all good colorists have a light hand or do a lot of light layers. Some of my favorite colorists here on ColorTube are heavy-handed. They are. And I had to realize that and say, you know, for myself, it's okay. It's okay for me to be heavy-handed and just not do a whole bunch of light layers. It's all right. So that's the first thing that I learned. And then another thing in this same category was that I can't hold my pencil back here. You know, I can't do the far away holding thing like a lot of people, you know, advise you to do. I lose control of my pencil when I do that. I really do. I lose absolutely all control, and I already go out of the lines enough with just holding it at the tip, you know, like I do. But the reason why people were saying hold it back further was so that I could encourage my hand to be lighter. And I could not, I couldn't hold it that far back. I lost all control. I mean, completely all control. And my coloring page just looked a mess. So I learned that along with being heavy-handed. I learned I don't have to hold my pencil very far back. And even when I do start to do light layers on my coloring page, I still hold my pencil up fairly close. to the tip, because I still can get that control to my coloring. Okay, so yes, guys, that's tip number one, thing number one that I learned in 2017 about coloring, about adult coloring, is that I had to discover what type of colorist I am. And now you can see I'm doing a little bit lighter of a layer. And I'm going to really get in depth to showing you guys, you know, all of these tips and tricks about how exactly what I'm doing. But that's going to come in a future video. So guys, number two, the second thing that I learned was what I'm doing now. I call what I'm doing now unconventional blending, layering, shading, highlighting. I call it unconventional because this is not the normal way most colorists would advise you to color and blend and layer, but this is the easiest way that I found, particularly for me, to get the best results on my coloring pages. So we will be going over that in a future video also. But that's the second thing I learned, how to blend and layer and highlight in a way that was comfortable for me and that worked for me. Number three, be yourself. Now, guys, you guys help me understand this right here. Just be you. And from A Colorful Life mentioned what Dr. Seuss said, and it was just so sweet. It was like, you're the only one that can be you, so be you. It was just too cute. I love it. But it was so true. And along with that, being yourself also means buying and using the products that you're comfortable with using. You know, we've been getting a lot of this issue in the coloring community about not having quality products or quality tools to use. You know, everyone has to have Prismacolor, everyone has to have Faber-Castell in order to make beautiful coloring pages. Guys, what works for you? What works for me? Be you. Be yourself. You don't have to go out there and buy certain things just because everyone else is getting it or everyone else is using it. Use what you're comfortable with. Don't follow the masses. That's what I had to learn. So I just had to be me, you know, like what I like, use what I use, and be me. It's okay. And just don't, you know, think that you have to have expensive items or coloring supplies to make great pictures. You don't have to. Totally, definitely not. So I had to learn that for myself. As a beginner colorist, I was made to feel that I had to go out and get Prismacolor. I had to go out and get Faber-Castell in order to be successful and have pretty pages. But of course, that is far from the case. So with that in mind, let's move on to number three. No, I'm sorry, number four. I've learned what my go-to medium is. Pencils. You probably already knew that. Colored pencils are my go-to media. I absolutely love, 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 love using colored pencils. I have to really get out of that though, because I would like to use my other media, at times, other than just my colored pencils, because they're taking rain. I have all these markers and pens and all that good stuff, and I don't use them like I would like to. But coloring pencils are my go-to media. And I would just advise, know what you like before you go and start investing a whole lot of money in certain things, because for you, color pencils may not be your media. It may not be what you really like. You may be a marker girl or marker guy, or a gel pen guy or a gel pen girl. So know what you like before you go and just start buying up just a whole bunch of stuff. Because now I have like 300 Sharpies and I don't use them because that's not that's not what I love. I love my color pencils. Love, 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 love. So, yes, guys, know what media you like before you start investing a whole lot of money in one particular media. If you like watercolor, know that first. Number 5 is do your research before you start buying a whole lot of something, especially books, coloring books, and so forth. When I first started my journey, I bought all these books, all these coloring books, just because they were inexpensive, they were on sale, and I really didn't know what my preference was. So now I have all of these coloring books that I don't even prefer coloring in because I don't like the content. So, as I advised on one of my other videos, to do your research before you start buying a whole lot of, especially expensive coloring books. You go and buy a $15, $20, $30 coloring book and you don't like it. You color one page in it and then it's sitting on the shelf. Well, that's not going to make you happy as a colorist, especially as a newbie colorist, because you're going to feel, oh, I waste my money. And now, what am I doing? Nothing with it, right? So for me personally, I discovered what I like. My preferred coloring book and coloring book style is pretty much realistic things, realistic scenes, people, fashion, decor, interior design, some flowers, grayscale, different things like that. That's my preference. I love coloring things like this. I'm not really into, whimsical things, mythical, mandalas, scary things, gothic things. I'm not really into those type of things. They scare me. They freak me out, guys. So, yes, so that's what I have. Know what you like, know what you prefer before you go and start investing a whole lot into this. Tip number 6. I prefer hard, creamy pencils. Now you might be like, what is a hard, creamy pencil? Well, Speer Farben, my new pencils that I got, the SF pencils, they are perfect for me. I absolutely love those pencils. They are a harder lead. but yet and still they're creamy and they blend like a dream. It's amazing, guys. So those are my preferred pencils. Hard lead, but go on smooth and creamy and nice. So the Prismacolor pencils, they're a little bit too soft for me. You know, they're okay. I like them. They're growing on me. But my favorite are just pretty much the Spirit Farben pencils, the Koh-i-Noor Polycolor, the Tritones. I absolutely love those. But the Prismacolors, they are very unique. I can definitely say they are one of the most unique pencils out there on the market, with their ability to blend and be soft and creamy. They're super unique. I mean, super. But they're nice. But they're not my go-to. Not my go-to. So learn what type of pencil you like. Prismacolor is pretty much only good for me if I want like boom, intense color, you know? So that's when I reach for those, for these Prismacolors, when I want something that's just outrageously intense, you know? So guys, number 7 is you can mix oil and wax based quality pencils. Like, for example, Prismacolor and my Spirit Farben pencils. Oh, guys, those two pencils right there, they mix like a dream. I mean, they are just a match made in pencil heaven. They love each other. They really love each other. So if you ever had that fear, now I would not advise you to mix like too low budget oil and wax pencils, because I've had a few issues with that. But if you take a quality pencil and maybe like a lower budget pencil, but still a good quality lower budget pencil, then they mix pretty good. They mix pretty well together. Yes, guys. Trying to get this blend here working for me. I think that needs a little bit more of this darker blue. Okay, I think that works. Yes, okay, guys. Let's move on to number 8. I discovered that I absolutely love mixing my pencil sets. Like, I don't know why, but although Prismacolor has like every color under the sun, I still find myself wanting to add in the Spirit Farben pencils, or, you know, some other pencils. Because every set pretty much has different colors in them. Even if it's a slightly different color, pretty much every set of pencils have different colors and qualities to add to your coloring page. So I love mixing it, which leads to what you need color charts for. So guys, color charts, life, okay? I didn't realize how bad I needed a color chart until I got my hero pencils, and the pencil leads were not matching the pencil barrels. It was just, it was ridiculous, guys. I mean, it was sad. But got a color chart. Now I don't have to take a lot of time in swatching colors, you know? I don't have to have that scratch piece of paper beside me and just, oh, is this the blue I want? No, that's not it. Is this the blue I want? No, this is not it. That's too dark. That's too light. That's too green. Now I can just say, okay, I have that blue in my head. Let me go and look through my color chart and try to find that blue. And boom, there it is already. So color charts, lifesaver. Lifesaver. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. This when I started getting serious about my coloring, when I discovered the need for color charts. Okay, guys. I'm going to have to pause and think of what color I want this tie and his shirt to be. So, maybe a black tie. Yeah. Black tie event. That's what we're going to do. Now, what color do I want the shirt to be? Maybe a light blue, like a baby blue. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, black tie. Here we go. Okay, so number 9. The 9th thing that I learned as a beginner colorist in 2017 was that, and I just did it, you have to think about your picture before you start on something in it. Like, I didn't just say, oh, I'm going to make a blue tie. I sat and I thought about it, and I kind of mulled over, like, oh, how would that look in my mind? You kind of have to have an idea before you even head into your coloring page. Before I start, I try to think of what colors I want something to be, what mood I'm in. Do I want my picture to be more realistic, more whimsically colorful, and do I want it to be a happy picture, sad picture, dark, light, bright, pastel colors, neon colors? Do I want it to be whimsical with all kind of crazy psychedelic colors? If I want it to be realistic, I try to get a reference photo, you know, look in Google and see how something would look if it was like actually realistically portrayed. And the way I choose my color palettes is I pretty much, choosing color palettes is kind of like choosing, you know, what clothes you're going to wear or what shoes you're going to put on with your outfit. So I just pretty much choose the colors that, like, how I feel that for that moment. And I think most of the time I end up just going with my favorite colors. Okay. So that got that black tie done. Now, let's see, I said I wanted a light blue shirt. So which light blue do I want to go with? Let's look at my color palette. I think I want to go with the maybe light cerulean blue. Where are you, light cerulean blue? There you are. Okay. I think you need sharpening a bit. Number 10 is use a reference photo for figuring out your shadowing and your highlights and things like that if you're not sure where they go. For example, I colored a car in one of my coloring books, in my Americana coloring book, and I wasn't quite sure where I wanted the lights and the shadows to hit, so I looked at that reference photo of a real car on the internet, and it helped me to, decide where I should put my lights and my highlights and my shadows. So using reference photos is not just for artists who are drawing pictures and stuff. It's for us colorists also. Okay, let's see if that blending is going to work. Let's get my white here. Well, that's a gall sharpener, just messes your pencil all crazy. I think I need a little bit more blue in this. And I think I need a little bit of outlining of my black. Okay, a little bit more blue. All right, we got that jacket done. All right, guys, number 11. I've learned to never give up on a picture. Never give up. Now, I know sometimes you may say, hey, this picture here, it's a lost cause. I can't make it work. It's horrible. Well, what I usually do is I just leave it alone and I return later and try to fix it another day or another time, because usually when I start messing up on a picture, I either don't know what I'm doing, so I need to go watch some videos, or either I'm tired and I need to quit coloring, because if I'm tired, I'm going to mess that page up every time. So I never color tired. So what I do is I just leave the pic alone, leave the picture alone, and just go and come back at it. So never give up on a picture. Some pictures you may have to give up on them, but most pictures can be fixed, and they can be fixed with acrylic paint, glitter glue. I mean, acrylic paint and glitter glue. Ugh, it fixes anything, okay? You put you some acrylic paint somewhere, a little bit there. If you mess that up, put you a little glitter glue right there on there. You have made a masterpiece. So never give up on a picture. It's always hope. Always have hope and try to fix it. And if it's just unfixable, then, well, at least you tried. Number 12. I always start coloring a picture with what I'm most comfortable with. For example, I'm most comfortable with coloring like leaves. I always start with my leaves in a picture before I like migrate on into um, flowers or anything else on a picture. So if a picture has some leaves in it, you better believe that's what I'm starting with. And like on this picture, I am most comfortable with, clothing, things like that. So that's what I started with. His clothes. And let's see, now I need a lighter color, lighter than the chocolate color. And what color is that? Where are all of my browns? Maybe this beige sienna. All right, where is my beige sienna? Here it is. Okay. Yeah, that works. Number 13. I found out at first, before I got my odorless mineral spirits, I was using things like Vaseline and baby oil. Well, I found another blending media before I got my blender, my Prismacolor blender pencil, and before I got some odorless mineral spirit. I found that coconut oil is actually a better alternative, a better blending media than the baby oil and the Vaseline, because it's lighter and it's not as oily. So yeah, but guys, you might wanna try some coconut oil. And it actually wasn't greasy at all. It didn't transfer on my page, make it really super greasy or anything. So you might want to try that, guys. Number 14 of what I learned is, before I got soft pastels and any type of pastel, I was using eyeshadow. And to this day, sometimes I still do prefer using eyeshadow to my heart pastels and things like that, because they do bring a very nice touch, to your pages, and they have a variety of colors. And usually when your soft pastels, you can only get like a 12 pack, 24 pack. You can get a 64 pack, which I ordered. Well, I have on my wish list on Amazon, of the Mungi soft pastels. So I plan on getting those, but I really, really loved using eyeshadow. It makes awesome backgrounds. Awesome, 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 awesome. Number 15 is hairspray. I was using hairspray at the beginning. It made an awesome fixative for the eyeshadow. And the one I used, I showed it in a previous video, is the unscented hairspray from the Dollar Tree. And it works very well fixing the eyeshadow. But it does not work as well fixing harder pastels or not even some, well, I don't have any soft pastels. I only have hard pastels. So that did not work in fixing those, because the harder pastels, let me just show you and give you an example. These are hard pastels, the Cretacolor, and they're hard like they're sticks, like that. And it's like using pure pigment. Like it's actually like the pigment, like a pencil lead. So that hairspray did not want to fix that. So I had to actually get a actual fixative for that. Okay, moving on. I think I want to make this right here gold, my metallic gold. I guess I can make that metallic gold up there too. I think I better use the white pencil. All right, guys. Whew. I tell you. So, I think I'm going to work on what next? Something. I'm going to take a break and then we're going to resume. Okay, guys. Now I'm about to work on the hat, and I definitely would like a black hat. And I think that ribbon is going to be that blue, the indanthrone blue, whatever it is. So guys, yes. My tip number 16. Oh yes, I said I want to do black. My tip number 16 is always use protection sheets behind your coloring page. That's what I learned to always make sure I do. Because if you don't, your ink on your opposite page that you're coloring will transfer onto that coloring page, and it's not pretty. Okay. Tip number 17 that I learned: never brush away the residue with your hand. I had to learn that the hard way. Always use a brush because it will smear, especially Prismacolor pencils. They smear every single time. Number 18. Always do your gel accents last. Like if you plan on using gel pens, putting a little sparkle on your page, always do that last because you will smear your page. And I usually won't close my book Like, I leave it open like that entire night because they never dry. When you think they're dry, they're not dry. So leave your pages open, leave your book open, and just let it dry overnight. So this soup is coming along just like I like it. Just what I want. A little bit more black in there. In that hat. Yes, that's it. Let me get my blue. Tip number 19, guys. We're getting closer to the end with this. Try to color in one direction or use small circles. Now, I must tell you, I don't use small circles as much when I color. I usually use lines, like straight lines, but I color in one direction. I don't like color up and down and then turn around and color, you know, vertically or horizontally. You know, I don't do that. I color in one direction so that my pencil strokes can be even. And another tip is, like, if you're coloring for a long time and you get that sharp edge on your pencil, I don't rotate my pencil and start coloring with that sharp edge because it'll give a very harsh pencil line. And you don't want that because it's not killed, okay? It does not give you a nice, clean look on your coloring page. All right. Now I need that light blue, that light cobalt blue. No, light cerulean blue for these sleeves here. Because that's his shirt. Yes, there we go. And I also need to do the brown on the mannequin. And now let's take the lighter beige sienna. And now let's take our blender pencil. Make sure you clean it off. And lightly blend. I got a little blue on there. Okay, let me zoom you guys out. So, we pretty much have him all done, everything except for his cane. So I think I would like for his cane to be this gold here. And while we're working on that cane, let's talk about number 20. Final tip of what I learned in 2017. And that is, guys, drum roll please. cleaning off my white Prismacolor. Don't compare yourself with other colorists. Always have fun. Yes, that's the biggest thing that I had to learn in my coloring journey. I would look at other colorists, look at the beautiful job that they're doing on their coloring pages, and I would just be like, man, mine will never look like that. Well, eventually you'll find your own style and you'll color the way that you like. You'll end up coloring the way that fits you, because each one of us, we're unique. So make a few little indentations here so that it can look like that's resting on his arm a little bit more. So guys, those are the 20 things I learned in 2017 about adult coloring. So what do you guys think about Mr. Blue here? So let me recap. Number 1, I discovered what type of colorist I was, or I am. I'm heavy-handed, and I'm accepting that. I have unconventional ways of blending and highlighting and shading and layering, which will be discussed in a future video. I definitely try to be myself. I buy what I like, use what I like, color what I like, and I don't try to follow the masses and just buy stuff because other people say, oh, it's great, that's what you should buy, this, that, and the other. No, that doesn't work. Number 4, I discovered my go-to medium, which is pencils, colored pencils. And number 5, do your research before you buy a lot of stuff. Unlike me, I bought a lot of stuff before I did my research. Big mistake. Know what you like before you invest in a whole bunch of stuff. Number 6, what kind of pencils do you prefer? I prefer harder pencils with creamier laydown, such as the Spirit pencils, the Koh-i-Noors. They're great. And I'm getting used to the Prismacolor. I've used the Prismacolor on this picture, and they're doing great. I mean, because I want the picture to be really, really, really vibrant. So I'm going to throw a few SF pencils in here every now and then, but I got to get used to those Prismacolors. But they're growing on me. Number 7, you can mix oil and wax pencils if they are a good quality pencil. So the Spirit pencils, they're pretty good quality. They're oil, and the Prismacolors, of course, you know, they're great quality pencils. They mix well. And also, I haven't tried, well, you know, Prismas and Faber-Castells, they do well together. They like each other. But anyway, number 8, I always mix my sets of pencils. Like, I just can't color one whole page with just one set of pencils because I love my colors, and I have to have my color charts. That's what makes you a serious colorist. Having a color chart, having your colors picked out, knowing what you want to use in a picture, and just being able to go straight to your color chart and able to just get what color you have in your head. Number 9, think about the colors before you start. What colors you want to use? How do you want your picture to turn out? Do you want it to be realistic, or do you want it to be very colorful, psychedelic, using every color in the rainbow? Just all of that. Decide that beforehand. And you can also use reference photos. Number 10, reference photos. Learn how to go to Google and Google whatever it is, especially if you want something to be realistic and you want to know where the shadows are and the lights and the highlights. Go and Google that image, and that'll tell you where you should put the shadows and so forth. Number 11, never give up on a picture. Just try to fix it with glitter glue or acrylic paint or whatever it is. Don't ever color tired. Just stop coloring and save it for another day. Number 12, always start with what you're most comfortable with. If you're most comfortable with doing the lights or the dresses or the stonework or the walls or the bricks or whatever, leaves, start with that. Eyeshadow, number 13, you can blend with coconut oil instead of the greasier Vaseline or baby oil. Eyeshadow, number 14, eyeshadow for backgrounds. Awesome, awesome alternative. Number 15, hairspray for a fixative, and it works perfect on eyeshadow and not so perfect on harder pastels. Number 16, use a protector sheet behind your page, or else you will get bleed or you would get ink print on the opposite page. Number 17, and another thing I forgot to mention on number 16 is I usually try to start from the left side of my page and just work down, because if you finish coloring this part and then you go work up here, you're going to smear your page. So I usually use a protector sheet. And if I haven't started up here, I'll get a protector sheet and I'll cover this part up and then I'll color with it. Number 17, use a brush to brush off your excess residue. Now, I know you saw me using my hand a couple of times. Bad, bad, bad. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Niecy, bad job. Bad, bad, bad. Do your gel accents last, or else they will smear. And don't close your book up. Leave it open overnight. Number 19, color in one direction with your pencils. Instead of coloring up and down, sideways, all different ways, you're going to leave pencil marks and it's going to look very streaky. It's not going to look cohesive. And last but not least, don't compare your work to anyone else's. Have fun. Let this be a hobby that just takes you away to a place where you enjoy it, you know? Don't let this be a competition. Let's all just enjoy this. So guys, thank you so much for joining me for my first video back in my new workstation. So guys, stay tuned for what's to come in 2018. We're going to have so much going on here, guys. And hop on over to my Facebook group, Worldwide Coloring with Dollar Diva 99. And there I will be, showing a lot of my finished works, my works in progress, all that good stuff. I will be alerting you there when I'm about to do a live show and all that good stuff. So, hey guys, thank you again for being so totally awesome. You guys rock, okay? So that's going to be it. I think I'm going to sit here and work on this page a little bit more. And the next time you see me, we'll probably be working on how to make this look like a window. How to make that look like a clear glass see-through window, okay? So guys, thanks so much for joining me and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day and happy coloring. Bye.